All right, what's happening? What is up? Hope you're well. Hope you're rocking and rolling. Welcome to part 2 if you were looking for part 2. If you didn't watch part 1, don't worry, it's just about a 9-minute video of me getting ready to get these goats out of here. I'm sure you can find it, but this will be better quality the way I have it now. And the goats are back behind me, eating some of what we put in here in their little pen here, and I'm about to get them out and let them graze in the bigger yard, which means I have to tie them off, keep an eye on them. I'm going to be here for about 2 or 3 hours, and so I have time to do that. They get a lot more to eat. The reason that I tie them off like that is because we haven't fenced in the whole larger back acre here yet, which we're going to eventually do. But in the meantime, these goats have been helping us to clear it off. You see, they uncovered some things that were buried in that process of them clearing off the acre by doing what they call browsing, which is kind of like grazing. But when goats do, it's called browsing, which the mama one, you can really see that sometimes. She eats a little here, then a little there, then a little here, and then a little there. And so I was also just saying this morning that I was a little sleepy because I was up a little late last night, so I'm a little loopy kind of, but I feel really well. I fasted yesterday, and I think that had the tendency to have me stay up a little bit later, because like you're hungry, a little bit. Although the trade-off for that is that I feel really good. No tinnitus. I had a little. I did notice a tinnitus a little bit when I stood up from laying down this morning, but and then back to not having any, and so, and even not having any. Actually, this is a thing to celebrate. I think that was the first time in about 6 months, if not the first time, and like maybe the second or third time in about 6 months that I didn't have it upon waking. Usually, I at least have it upon waking. It was a big deal when I had stopped having it. Sometimes when I would lay down at night, laying down for some reason seems to be when I have it the most. But I'm typically pretty happy if I just don't have it during most of the day, which is amazing. Which yesterday it was kind of there some during the day, but very low. But then like in the evening I didn't have it, and I didn't have it upon waking this morning. I think the transdermal patches that I have on for glutathione and stem cells are helping a lot. I've had a few days where I was like, wow, it's really gone since I started that. And then the fasting. I've had the fasting help me before, and sometimes things just seem to come together. It's like a number of factors. And then I think sometimes even with that, like, it like takes time for it to clear your nervous system. And one thing that I want to talk about is that it's hard to like tell sometimes to tell what helps, because things that help your overall health and help you to recover from the tinnitus sometimes actually trigger the tinnitus in the short term. And so it can be tricky. Certain things like, for example, using medical cannabis, I think it helps in the long term. It can. I'm not saying for everybody. I'm not advising, any individual to actually use that. It's a very individual thing, so I wouldn't give that advice like to the general public over a video. But I'm saying for me, individually, first of all, smoking seems to really make things worse. It gives your body more toxins to process. It's not good for your lungs. It's not good for your kidneys. Just to inhale smoke, right? And I think you get medicinally, it's like you get very little bang for your buck with smoking. It's basically only like for altering your mood, or getting rid of nausea, like for people on chemo, and it's just like people use it to get high, and specific things. Like it's a very fast delivery system for the cannabinoids and the THC, but when you get a high extract like tincture or oil, that's when you get the reduction in oxidative stress and the killing of like cells that could become cancer cells and things like that, from the medical cannabis. But yeah, I noticed it sometimes tends to kind of flare up the tinnitus, but then after it is better than it was before it. But sometimes running, I think, can be that way. Like in some ways it's beneficial, in some ways it's kind of rough on the body, and so I've noticed in the past my tinnitus could flare up when running, but then overall it feels like the activity of running is good. So that can be hit or miss, but anyways, it could be tricky with tinnitus. I think same with certain diets. Like it can be good to avoid like salicylates for a while. Foods with salicylates, which is like what's in aspirin, it's in turmeric. It's like turmeric's overall probably really good for you. It's in broccoli, which broccoli can really help your liver. And then the reaction to salicylates also probably has to do with your liver's ability to process things. So I've found, like in these episodes where I got around some music and then I had tinnitus, then it was helpful for me to avoid salicylates as much as possible for a while, and then when I started to feel like the tinnitus was kind of getting better, then reincorporate some foods with salicylates back in. It can be really hard for people that are on medications to avoid salicylates because they're in medications. So this is kind of like a holistic, naturalistic kind of approach. But still, I would say, I would say, especially if you're on medications, if you're able to avoid, reduce the amount of salicylates by avoiding foods. There's way less typically in foods than there are in medications. But yet still, you could lower the overall amount quite a bit with a certain diet, and then reintroduce it back in. And that could be hard if you're on medications, because certain medications can just be triggering to tinnitus, and there may be some other larger problem that you're needing to go ahead and address with the medications. Tinnitus in itself isn't like dangerous. It's just a symptom, and our symptoms is like our body telling us things, and I think sometimes we need to embrace that. So yeah, I gotta get these goats on their leashes here. They're hanging up on the fence. One time I left the leashes like inside of here, and then it was hard for Devin to put the goats on the leashes because they were coming right up to the fence when she came out. Anyway, Mouse is over there eating, the gray one, and then Pan's just standing there. So you can see there's food in here, but she's not eating, and that's how she gets a little bit less food. She kind of is picky and browses around. She's chewing, but she's just chewing what's in her mouth. So, but still, I'm gonna get them out and let them save the rest of what's in here for later today. Here comes Pan. She sees a cat that's out there. I thought I'd put the camera on them. Sometimes they'll run around after the cats. All right, I'm gonna get them. goat. Mousy likes to pull back. She doesn't like to be led on the line. Mama's okay with it. She kind of comes. Baby doesn't like to be pulled, but Mama kind of just comes along, allows herself to be led. There's our house back there. For those of you that wanted to see my house, there it is from the outside. It's a real neat house. We're super happy with it. And also looking forward to just everything that we're doing on this property. All right. Whoa. Man. She's getting tangled up here. I gotta move them through here. Come on, goats. There we go. All right. So now we have to decide where to sort of place them. I'm gonna go over this way because there are water buckets over here. She's really pulling against me. It'll be nice when we can get this whole back acre fenced enough so that the goats can just be free back here instead of being on a tie off. But we don't just tie them off and leave. You have to keep an eye on them. You have to make sure they don't get tangled on the tie off, and also like some dogs or something could just come through here and eat them, and they'd be defenseless. They'd be tied off. So you have to be careful. One time our dogs got loose and ran out here, and Devin was like, "Oh, stop, stop." She knew they were coming right after the goats, and our big dog Alfredo, he got one of them to the ground and had his mouth around her neck. I laughed because I think he was playing. He never hurt her, and he never was growling or looked like he was going to. But we sure don't want him to get the taste for animals, wild animals or farm animals or anything. The sun's coming up behind me, which is nice. But so yeah, the goats started eating right away out here, which is also nice. And I'm feeling well. My tinnitus is feeling better. My digestion is a lot better. I gotta also give credit to my Chinese herbs that are specifically for me, that I take. I've had for about 12 years at least. And I wouldn't even say off and on, like pretty consistently, hardly ever miss a day. I have them shipped from Austin, Texas, so sometimes I miss a day because it takes time for them to get here to Hawaii. But they're a big component of what supports my overall health, but they're meant to synergize with the other things. Like I will tell my herbalist the other things that I'm doing, what I'm currently taking, along with my current symptoms, and they're meant to synergize together. And so I think that's one of the big things that helps overall health, is synergizing things together. I've seen people say, do this, not this, for example. I'm not talking about Chinese herbs, but just, something else. Like do a keto diet and coffee enemas, but don't take chlorella and cilantro. And to me, it's like, well, I found both of those things helpful, actually. At different times for different reasons. So it's very individualistic, very in the moment as far as what helps people, and I think it involved a lot of psychology. I mean, I'm a psychologist, so I would think that, right? I'm an integrative health psychologist, and so I would think that, right? But yeah, it involves a lot of psychology, including, you know, working out trauma and spiritual stuff, relationship stuff can be a factor. But yeah, I'm a little sleepy this morning, but I feel really well, which is awesome. And so, all right. I hope this is helpful. This is part of my video a day. I think I put out actually at least 3 videos yesterday. And I'm planning to do a video a day between now and August. It is now February. It's the first day of February, 2024. And a video a day between now and August, and we'll see what growth happens. And when I feel this well, as I do today, I honestly wasn't expecting this. and it's great. It's great. And so, you know, it's like I want to share all the things that I've been doing, but I also want to plan to still get on here on hard days if I have hard days. Hopefully I never have another hard day again, right? And neither do you, but we probably will. We're human beings, we have hard days, but we don't have to have, I mean, we can have days where it can be challenging, right? We can have days where we have symptoms that are hard, I would say, but they have to be hard days. Like if we can disengage from our judgment, or I'll own it, you know, if I can disengage from like my self-judgment when I have symptoms, like a lot of times when we have a symptom, we feel like something is wrong. Something's wrong with my body. You know, it's like, well, yeah, something's also right. Like you have a barometer, your body's telling you something. It's like a healthometer, it's telling you something. But you know, sometimes certain symptoms can just be really debilitating, and it's like we maybe can't explain exactly why, but we'd rather not live with them. But we can, and we do, and we get through things, and you know, have faith. You can get on the other side. I mean, when my tinnitus, whatever, was happening for like weeks on end and months on end, it's easy to believe the stuff that says you can't ever get better. There's people that say you can't ever get better if your tinnitus was caused by sound. Well, my tinnitus started when I was around loud music. But I worked on other factors about my health, and it got better. So I think sometimes some people say belief doesn't matter what you believe. It's like a deterministic world, you know, predetermined. But I think there's a juxtaposition between determinism and free will, and we have free will in this dualistic world, and I think beliefs do make a difference. Of course, that's a thought, and my thoughts can only be relatively true to me, but yeah, that's a thought I have. But anyway, I hope this is helpful. I'll be back again soon with another video, just showing you some of the scenery here in the back acre before I sign off as the sun comes up. And by the way, I'm Tom Kirkham. I'm on Big Island, Hawaii, and I'm a mental health counselor here. Take some insurances if you're living on island. You have state Hawaii insurance, you know, insurance that works in Hawaii. And I also have cash pay rates. And then I also do coaching online for people everywhere. Yeah, and so I hope this is helpful. And yeah, I'll talk more about what I do and everything on other videos, but yeah, obviously I focus on wealth and integrative health, as I mentioned before. I said wealth, wellness, but I also focus on wealth because a lot of this stuff costs money, this integrative health stuff. So I facilitate helping people to earn money in a healthy way, and more to come. So I'm gonna wrap things up here, and I'll make another video soon. And there's a goat eating. So thank you so much. I'd love to have your comments below, or reach out to me privately. You know, find me through my links in the comment section, and reach out to me through my contact form on the website. and if you want to, you know, comment to me privately. But I'd love to hear from you, and I really appreciate the opportunity to make these videos. And it's a growth experience for me, like kind of like a journal, you know, keeping a journal, but it's shared. So, you know, you're welcome to share your thoughts in the comments below.